Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Quartet Lesson 8 Part 1 live stream. Tonight we're going to be covering どころか with mo and ない限り Noun ならでは ないまでも and とともに. Those are the 5 points we're going to be covering today. These are the colors we usually use in our live streams. We have light blue for the grammar points, and these other colors are for words that haven't shown up in Quartet or Genki yet, but that we want to show you because they're either on the JLPT or very common. Tonight's live stream is sponsored by all the members of ToKiniAndy.com and the members of this YouTube channel. You can join the YouTube channel and become a member by clicking on the join button right below this video. All right, so we are going to go ahead and jump into tonight's lesson. We've got not just and far from with どころか. So to make this grammar point, or to use it, we attach it either to the short form of a verb, any short form, the e adjective on its own, an adjective on its own, nothing in between, and a noun, どころか. And what it means is not just this, but also this, or far from this, this. B さんはケーキの担当ね. So B, you're in charge of the cake. ケーキを作るどころか料理さえしたことないよ. So I've never even cooked, let alone made a cake. So I've translated どころか here as let alone, right? So let alone make a cake, I've never even cooked if you were to switch it to the order that the Japanese is in. So ケーキを作るどころか. So we're using the short form of a verb. ケーキを作るどころか. Let alone make a cake, or much less make a cake. 料理さえ. So even cooking したことないよ. I've never even done it. 今日は寒すぎて仕事どころかヒーターの前から動くことさえできない. It's too cold today and I can't even move away from in front of the heater, let alone work. So let's break this one down. We have 今日は, so the topic is today. 寒すぎて, it's too cold, and 仕事どころか, let alone work, 仕事どころかヒーターの前から, so from, から in front of the heater, 動くことさえ, so the thing which is move, さえ. So どころか is very frequently combined with either も or さえ, which of course both mean even. In this case we have 動くことさえできない. So ヒーターの前から動くことさえできない. I can't even move away from in front of the heater, let alone work. Here we have another conversation. We have 鬼滅の刃の映画見た? Did you see the Demon Slayer movie? B says 映画どころかアニメさえまだ見てないよ. So I haven't even seen the anime, let alone the movie. So I've translated almost all these sentences so far as let alone, which is what it makes a little bit more sense to me. So 映画どころか let alone the movie. アニメさえ even the anime まだ見てない. I haven't seen it yet. Yo. So it's just giving you information to the person who was asking with the yo particle there. Next conversation similar. We have B 君は絵が得意なの? So is B good at drawing? Then this is C talking. 得意どころか彼はプロのアニメーターでさえあるよ. So he's not just good at it, he's even a pro animator. So 得意どころか not just good at it or not just skillful. 彼は so he's the topic. プロのアニメーター pro animator でさえあるよ. So he even is a pro animator. その映画は面白いどころか10分経たないうちに眠くなってしまいました. So that movie, far from being interesting, I fell asleep within the first 10 minutes. So this can also be used in sort of a negative sense, right? So it'll depend on sort of the whatever comes after it and the tense of what comes after it, things like that. So far we've had mostly let alone this, and they've been mostly positive things, but this one's a little bit more of a negative. We have その映画は, so that movie is the topic. 面白いどころか, so far from being interesting. So you're not going to know it's far from being interesting until we get to the next part, but we've already gotten there, so we know that it's far from being interesting. 10分経たないうちに within the span of 10 minutes, but 10 minutes haven't passed yet. 眠くなってしまいました. I became sleepy. Completely sleepy. All right, and that brings us to the conversation. We're going to get Yuki over here and get her on screen, and we will take the conversation off. So we're going to read it slowly once. Please go ahead and listen and try and pick up the meaning from that. And then we'll read it full speed with the conversation on screen so you can read along with us, and we'll go over the English. こんばんは。
こんばんは。
はい。Alright,
みん
so
なメリクリ。
メリクリ。そうだね。 All right, so I believe Yuki is B, so let's go ahead and jump in. We've got ねえ、明日暇？
明日は暇どころか忙しすぎて1分もないんだよ。
そうなの？なんで？
仕事が多いんだよ。
どうしても今日中に終われない？
無理だと思うけどね。
手伝えることはない？はい。Okay, so let's go ahead and bring that back on screen and we'll read it at full speed. All right, we have ねえ、明日暇？
明日は暇どころか忙しすぎて1分もないんだよ。
そうなの？なんで？
仕事が多いんだよ。
どうしても今日中に終われない？
無理だと思うけどね。
手伝えることはない？ Alright, let's break that one down. We have ねえ、明日暇？ Hey, are you free tomorrow? So is tomorrow free? 明日は so tomorrow, that's the new topic. 暇どころか so let alone having free time. 忙しすぎて I'm too busy. 1分もない I don't even have 1 minute ないんだよ and that's an explanation. 1分もないんだよ。Really? そうなの？ Is that so? なんで？ Why? 仕事が多いんだよ because I have a lot of work. どうしても今日中に終われない There's no way you'll finish it today. どうしても So there's no way 今日中に So during today 終われない You can't finish. 無理だと思うけどね So I think it's impossible. 無理 is like impossible. 無理だと思うけどね I think it's impossible but 手伝えることはない There's nothing I can help you with. Alright, so this is going to be a fun story. There's more to come later, but we're going to stop here for now and jump into the question time, which we showed you a little bit earlier. There's 4 questions and you can answer one of them. So let's go over them quickly. We have どころかを使って質問に答えてください. So please answer the question using どころか. So the first question is, and you can choose one. もう宿題は終わった? Did you already finish your homework? B is 来週の旅行の準備した? So did you do your preparations for next week's travel? そちらの天気は晴れですか? Let's see. D is それ新しい服ですか? Is that new clothes? And the example sentences we have, the example answers, we have an example for A and for B. An example for A would be 宿題どころか So let alone homework. 来週のレポートまで終わりました I finished up until next week's report. So not just the homework is another way you could put this one. For B, 準備どころか旅行に行くことを忘れていました So let alone be prepared. I forgot that we're going on a trip next week. 旅行に行くことを忘れていました So, how about you guys? Unless with ない限り. This is a much easier grammar point than the last one. It's quite simple. You just take the negative conjugation of a verb and add 限り. And it means unless that thing happens, right? Unless that thing happens, whatever comes after this cannot occur. アルファベットを覚えない限り、英語を学ぶのは難しいです. So unless you memorize the alphabet, learning English is difficult. Okay? So let's break this one down. We have アルファベットを So the direct object is the alphabet. 覚えない限り So we have the negative of 覚える which is to memorize. 覚えない限り It means unless you memorize it. So unless you memorize the alphabet. 英語を So the new direct object is English. 学ぶのは So 学ぶ So learn English. It's nominalized with no there. は And that's the topic of 難しいです It's difficult. So unless you memorize the alphabet, learning English is difficult. 会社に戻らない限り新しい資料が作れません So unless I return to the office, I can't make the new document. So 会社に So towards the company 戻らない限り So 戻る becomes 戻らない限り So unless I return to the office 新しい資料 is an N2 word. Surprisingly, I thought it was much more common, but anyway, it's documents. 新しい資料が作れません I can't make new documents. 洗濯しない限り明日の服がありません So unless I do laundry, I don't have any clothes for tomorrow. So 洗濯 しない限り So 選択する Right? It's a する verb So 選択しない限り Unless I do the laundry 明日の服 So tomorrow's clothes が That's the subject ありません I don't have them 漫画を読まない限りアニメの続きがわかりません So unless I read the manga I won't know how the anime will continue So 漫画を Direct object is 漫画読まない限り So unless I read it アニメの続き So the continuation of the anime が That's the subject わかりません I don't understand it or I don't know what will happen. All right, we've got a common word here in 可能性 which means potential and 挑戦 which means to challenge or a challenge. To challenge yourself to something, right? 挑戦する So 挑戦しない限り新しい可能性はありません So unless you challenge yourself there will be no new potentials. The translation here is a little weird. I wasn't sure how exactly to translate it, so I just went with sort of a little bit more literal. But 挑戦しない限り means unless you challenge yourself is implied here. 新しい可能性 So new potentials. 新しい可能性は and that's a topic, but mostly just emphasizing what comes next, which is ありません You won't have any. 楽器は練習しない限り上手になりません So as for instruments, 楽器は So that's the topic is 楽器 That's surprisingly an N2 word. So 楽器は練習しない限り So unless you practice 上手になりません You won't become good at it. 履歴書を作らない限り就職活動は難しいです So unless you make a resume, searching for work is difficult. 履歴書 is resume, a resume, right? 履歴書を that's the direct object 作らない限り unless you make one 就職活動 means searching for work. When people finish with high school, or with college, they spend a couple months doing 就職活動 just searching for a job. は and that's a topic, but mostly just emphasizing that it's difficult. 難しいです。学校や仕事は熱が出ない限り休みません So as for school and work, unless you get a fever, you can't take off. And that's the truth in Japan, for real. 学校や仕事は So the topic is as for school and work. So things like school and work. 学校や仕事は熱が So a fever, and that is the subject が出ない限り So unless a fever You say that 熱が出る So to get a fever is we use the verb 出る So 熱が出ない限り So unless I get a fever 休みません I won't take off. I guess it's you won't take off. It's not can't take off. So I translated that wrong. 休めません would be can't. But 休みません is won't take off. And people in Japan, they won't take off unless they have a fever. And even if you call in to say you feel sick at work and you say you want to take off, they'll ask you right away, do you have a fever? And if you don't, they'll be a little incredulous as to why you're taking the day off. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump into the dialogue.
手伝ってくれるの？
いいよ。どんな手伝いがいる？
馬のうんちを全部片付けなきゃいけないんだよ。
マジか。
うんちを全部片付けない限り仕事が終わらない。
わかった。どれくらいある？
この馬小屋。
あ、それならなんとなくできそう。
と、後ろにある5軒。全部きれいにしなきゃだね。
参ったね。Alright, let's bring it back on screen. We'll read it at full speed. Alright, お願いします。
手伝ってくれるの？
いいよ。どんな手伝いがいる？
馬のうんちを全部片付けなきゃいけないんだよ。
マジか。
うんちを全部片付けない限り仕事が終わらない。
わかった。どれくらいある？
この馬小屋。
あ、それならなんとなくできそう。
と、後ろにある5軒。全部きれいにしなきゃだね。
参ったね。Oh. Okay, let's go over the English. We have 手伝ってくれるの？ You'll help me. 手伝ってくれるの？ Very casual, right? These clearly are friends. いいよ。Sure. どんな手伝いがいる？ So what kind of help do you need? いる is need, right? どんな手伝いがいる？馬のうんちを 全部片付けなきゃいけないんだよ。I have to clean up all of the horse poop. So, 馬のうんち so that's horse poop を全部 all of it 片付けなきゃいけないんだよ。I have to clean it all up. マジか。Seriously? うんちを全部片付けない限り unless I clean up all of it 仕事が終わらない。My work won't be finished. So unless I clean it all up, my work won't be finished. わかった。Got it. どれくらいある ?About how much is there? この馬小屋 this horse barn. あ、それならなんとなくできそう。If that's it, we can probably do it one way or another. なんとなく means somehow or other. So we can probably do it one way or other. と、後ろにある5軒。全部きれいにしなきゃね。しなきゃだね。So, と、and, 後ろにある。So, behind this one, or the ones behind this, or the ones behind, 5軒. So, 5 barns. You count buildings with the counter 軒. So, 5軒. 後ろにある5軒. The 5 barns behind. 全部きれいにしなきゃだね. So, we have to clean them all. 巻いたね。And you can see what the translation is on screen there. Oh, shh. 巻いたね is like, I give up, or like this, right? There's many different little meanings of maita, ne, maita, and this is one of them. All right, so let's go into the question time, which we covered a little bit earlier. It's pinned up there. I'm going to unpin it now since we've arrived. Unpin the message. And あなたがしない限り, so something, unless you do this thing, 今後の予定が終わらないことを教えてください. So please tell us a thing that won't finish unless you do a certain thing. For example, 私が夕ご飯を作らない限り夕ご飯はありません. So unless I make dinner, 私が, so me, I'm the subject, me, unless I make dinner, 夕ご飯を, so the direct object is dinner, 作らない限り, unless I make it, 夕ご飯はありません. So we mark that as a topic mostly to emphasize what comes next. 夕ご飯はありません. We don't have dinner. Unless I make dinner, we don't have dinner. 仕事が終わらない限り so unless I宿題が終わらない限り so unless I finish homework ゲームは許されません I can't allow playing a game. Alright, so how about you guys? Yeah. Distinctive to with noun ならでは noun ならでは So, you can use this by connecting it two nouns together. So noun 1 ならでは no noun to say that this is distinctive to that noun, or just use it on its own, noun ならでは. So, for example, I heard there was on the radio the other day when I was driving home from work, someone was talking about some event that was happening, and they finished it with 冬ならでは no evento. So that's what they were saying. An event that can only happen or that is unique to winter. So 冬ならではのイベント. So an event that is unique to winter. So that's just an example quickly off the top of my head of how this would be used. Something that is unique to something or something that is distinct to something. Narade was very common in advertisements and like copywriting. Yeah, for products and stuff. Like it's unique to this product or only in this product or distinct to this product, right? So it's very common in that in advertising. The first example sentence has a naradewa at the end. It is ゲストへの特別な対応ができるところがディズニーならではです. So being able to give guests a special reception is characteristic of Disney or unique to Disney. I translated this as characteristic of Disney because it can also be used in that way as well because it's not unique to Disneyland. Like there's other places that will treat their customers well, right? So ゲストの特別の対応ができるところ. So a place that can treat their customers or their guests very special in a very special way. Is not necessarily only something that happens at Disney, but it's characteristic of Disney, right? So, ゲストへ, so in the direction of the guest, の、特別な対応, so special treatment ができるところ, so a place that can do that がディズニーならではです. It's characteristic of Disney. 飛べないフレンドリーな鳥たちはニュージーランドならではです. So as for friendly birds that can't fly, they're unique to New Zealand. Even the birds that can fly in New Zealand, it's like they can't fly because like they're like they're big balls with little tiny wings, and when they jump off the tree, they like fall, and just at the last minute they're able to fly up. It's pretty hysterical to watch birds from New Zealand try to fly. The birds in New Zealand are weird. Anyway, 飛べないフレンドリーな鳥たち. So, birds that are friendly and can't fly. は So that's the topic. ニュージーランドならではです。So they're unique to New Zealand. 白を見ると、それぞれの国ならではのスタイルがあることに気づくでしょう。When you look at castles, you notice that each country has a distinctive style. So, 白を so it's a direct object of 見ると so when you look at a castle, それぞれの国 so each and every country ならではのスタイル so the style that is unique to each and every country が that's the subject あることに so that the fact that that exists, the style that is unique to every country に気づくでしょう you'll notice that that is the case. 玄関で必ず靴を脱ぐことは日本ならではの習慣です。So always taking off your shoes in the entranceway of a house is a distinctive custom in Japan. So 玄関で so utilizing the entryway 必ず without fail 靴を so shoes are the direct object of 脱ぐ take off ことは so the thing which is taking off your shoes without fail in the entryway is, so that's the topic. Emphasizing what comes next, 日本ならではの習慣です. So it's a custom unique to Japan. Of course, I think in other Asian countries it's done as well, but you get the point. 誰でも魔法が使えるようになるのはゲームならではの特徴です. Everyone becoming able to use magic is a distinctive feature of games. So 誰でも anyone 魔法が so magic is the subject が使える so be able to use 使えるようになるのは so become able to use のは so that's all nominalized so the thing which is becoming becoming able to use magic that's the topic ゲームならではの特徴です it's a distinctive feature 特徴 of games. Alright, let's jump into the conversation. We'll get Yuki over here. 馬小屋ならではの匂いだね。
最高にいい匂いだよね。
は？臭いって言おうと思ってた。
そう？牛よりいいでしょう。豚もやばい。
まあ、そう言われたら、牛と豚じゃなくてよかった。
そうだね。牛と豚は後回しだね。でも、それも終わらない限り、明日は時間ないんだよね。
へぇ？ Alright, let's go full speed. Bring it back on the screen. Alright, starting with 馬小屋ならではの匂いだね。
最高にいい匂いだよね。
は？臭いって言おうと思ってた。
そう？牛よりいいでしょ。豚もやばい。
まあ、そう言われたら牛と豚じゃなくてよかった。
そうだね。牛と豚は後回しだね。でもそれも終わらない限り、明日は時間ないんだよね。
へぇ？ Alright, let's break it down. We have 馬小屋ならではの匂い. So a smell that you can only get in horse barns, or a smell that is unique to horse barns. 馬小屋ならではの匂い。だね。Am I right? 最高にいい匂いだよね。It's a wonderful smell, isn't it? 最高にいい匂い。It's a wonderful smell. だよね, isn't it? は？ What? 臭いって言おうと思ってた. I translated this wrong. I noticed while we were going through the dialogue just now. Actually, I thought you'd say it stinks is not correct. It's I was going to say, or I was thinking to say it stinks. So 臭いって言おうと思ってた. I was thinking to say that it stinks. そう? Huh? Really? 牛よりいいでしょう. It's better than cows, right? 豚もやばい. Pigs are also rough. まあ、そう言われたら, well, when you put it that way, そう言われたら、牛と豚じゃなくてよかった. I'm glad it's not cows and pigs we're doing. そうだね. Yeah, for sure. 牛と豚は後回しだね. So we're putting off the cows and pigs, right? 後回し is an N1 word that means putting something off until later. でも, but, それも終わらない限り, so we have another ない限り here. So also that, if we don't also finish that, or unless we also finish that, 明日は時間ないんだよね。I won't have any time tomorrow, right? へー What? We're going to do the cows and the pigs too? Alright, so anyway, Q time is どんなことがあなたの国ならではの文化や習慣や道具ですか? So what is a thing or a custom or a cultural thing that is unique to your country? For example, from before, こたつは日本ならではの温かい道具です。So a こたつ is a tool or a furniture piece that is unique, a warm tool that is unique to Japan. Or 社員で会社の雪かきをすることは日本ならではの習慣です。So 社員で so utilizing your normal employees 会社の雪かき so shoveling at the company をすることは so doing that thing is 日本ならではの習慣です a custom or a habit unique to Japan. And that is true. Usually I feel like in the States you either hire a company to plow your parking lot or pay people to shovel it is what I feel like in the States, most businesses. But in Japan, you got guys in suits and women in skirts and all this stuff, and they're all out there an hour earlier than normal, shoveling giant parking lots. Our next section is can't go as far as something something, but with ないまでも. It's very easy to create this, although it's a little bit more complicated than, for example, ない限り. At least in construction, it looks a little bit more complicated. It's pretty much the same kind of idea, but you just take the negative of a verb and add までも. So the negative までも. So I can't go as far as to say this, or I can't go as far as requesting this, for example, but this. So it's basically saying like the first part is what would you really want to happen, but I won't go as far as saying I want that to happen. B, whatever comes next, that would be good enough. So I can't go as far as saying this, but this would be good. Let's go. By the way, it's frequently used with the word 少なくとも, so at the very least, and せめて, which is also at the very least, basically. They're just very common ones that show up in this grammar point. They're very, very similar words. There's really not much of a difference. So anyway, 1日3回とは言わないまでも少なくとも2回は歯磨きした方がいい. So I won't go as far as saying 3 times per day, but at the very least, you should brush your teeth 2 times. So let's break it down. We have 1日3回. So at the one day 3 times. とは言わないまでも. So the とは言わないまでも and とは言えないまでも, according to Quartet, are actually idioms that are very frequently used, and they seem to always come along with とは. So 1日3回とは言わないまでも. So I won't go as far as to say 3 times a day. But 少なくとも at the very least 2回は so 2 times, that's the topic, but mostly emphasizing what comes next. 歯磨きした方がいい. You should brush your teeth. 毎日とは言わないまでもせめて週に1回運動するのが健康的だと思います. So I won't go as far as to say every day, but exercising at least once per week is healthy, I think. Alright, so 毎日, every day. とは言わないまでも. Even, I won't go as far as to say every day, but せめて at the very least. 週に1回, once a week. 運動するのが, so 運動する, that's exercise, it's being nominalized, のが, and it's the subject, 健康的だと思います. I think it's healthy. 必ず成功するとは言わないまでも、挑戦することに価値がある. So I won't go as far as to say we definitely will succeed, but there is value in at least trying. So 挑戦 showed up a little bit earlier in this lesson. It's an N1 word that means to challenge. You can also translate it as try, but that's like challenging yourself to do something, trying your best to do something, right? 必ず without fail. 成功する, so to succeed. とは言わないまでも, so I won't go as far as to say that we will succeed, definitely. But 挑戦すること, so trying, the thing which is trying, に価値がある. There is value in trying. プロにならないまでもできるだけ技術を身につけたい. You don't need to go so far as to become a pro, but you should build your skills as much as possible. プロにならないまでも, so not go as far as becoming a pro. So here we've moved on from the verb you, which is a very common one here, but this is なる. So プロにならないまでも. You don't need to go as far as becoming a pro. できるだけ, as much as you can or as best you can. できるだけ, right? 技術, so your skills を身につけたい. So I want to build my skills. 身につける means to basically make it part of you. 技術を身につける means to build your skills, basically. 優勝しないまでも絵のコンテストで賞がもらえました。So I didn't get as far as winning, but I was given a prize at the drawing contest. So 優勝しないまでも. So even though I didn't get as far as winning, or I didn't get as far as winning, but 絵のコンテストで, so at the, or utilizing the drawing contest, 賞, which is a prize, がもらいました. I was able to win a prize, or I was able to receive a prize. このグラスは高級とは言えないまでも綺麗なデザインで使いやすい. So you can't say that this glass is expensive, but the design is pretty and it's easy to use. Or you can't say that it's classy. So このグラス, this glass は, it's the topic, emphasizing what comes next. 高級とは言えないまでも. So even though you can't say that it's expensive, the difference seems to be, I won't go as far as to say with 言わないまでも, and you can't say that with 言えないまでもね. 綺麗なデザインで, it's a pretty design, and 使いやすい, it's easy to use. Conversation, let's go! Yuki!
どうしたの？
なんでもない。
まあ、豚のうんちの片付けが終わらないまでも、せめて馬と牛を終わりにしたい。
はい。馬と牛ができたら明日ちょっと余裕ができる？
うん、ちょっとね。朝豚をやって午後なら時間できるかもしれない。
わかった。じゃあ頑張ろう。はい、full speed。
どうしたの？
なんでもない。
まあ、豚のうんちの片付けが終わらないまでも、せめて馬と牛を終わりにしたい。
はい。馬と牛ができたら明日ちょっと余裕ができる？
うん、ちょっとね。朝豚をやって午後なら時間できるかもしれない。
わかった。じゃあ頑張ろう。Alright, so let's break this one down. Sorry. We have どうしたの？ What's the matter? なんでもない。Nothing. なんでもない is just nothing, right? まあ、well, 豚のうんち so pig droppings の片付け so cleaning up pig droppings が終わらないまでも even if we can't get as far as, or we don't need to go as far as cleaning up the pigs, but せめて at the very least 馬と牛を終わりにしたい I want to finish at least the horse and the cows. So you can see how this is used, right? It's this, I'd like to get this done. This would be preferable, but we don't need to go as far as that. This will be enough, right? The second part. はい、okay. 馬と牛ができたら So if we finish the horses and the cows 明日ちょっと余裕ができる Tomorrow you'll have a little leeway. So 余裕 means leeway. So having some space, right? ちょっとね Yeah, a little. 朝豚をやって I do the pigs in the morning. And 午後なら時間できるかもしれない And if it's the afternoon, I can probably find some time. かもしれない can mean maybe, but it can also mean probably. I feel like it sort of leans towards probably a lot of the times. But anyway. わかった。Got it. じゃあ Well then. 頑張ろう. Let's get her done. Alright, question time. Tell us a goal. So ゴールとは言わないまでも So even if I can't go as far as to say, or I won't go as far as to say this goal. So that's a goal you'd like to reach, but at the very least, 少なくとも something something はしたい. I want to do this. So I won't go as far as saying this is my goal, but I want to do at least this much. Please tell us what that is. So for example, シェフとは言わないまでも少なくとも美味しくなるように料理したい. So I won't go as far as saying I want to become a chef, but at the very least, I want to cook so that it becomes delicious. Enough that it becomes delicious, right? 歌手とは言わないまでも、少なくとも上手に歌いたい。So, I won't go as far as saying my goal is to become a professional singer, 歌手, right? But 少なくとも上手に歌いたい. I want to be able to sing well. Together with, とともに, とともに. The way we use this, it's quite simple. We just have it with a noun, which means together with someone or something. Noun, とともに. So it's とともに. And along with, it basically just means together with, but it can be used with more things. Verb in the dictionary form, とともに. So while, along with doing that thing. And also noun, とともに. Based on the context, it'll be a little bit different. We'll show you how that goes in the example sentences. Our first example sentence is アメリカのクリスマスは日本のお正月のように家族と共に過ごすイベントです。So as for Christmas, American Christmas, just like Japanese New Year's, it's an event you spend together with your family. So アメリカのクリスマスは So the topic is America, Christmas in America, or American Christmas. 日本のお正月 So Japanese New Year's のように So like that. 家族と共に So together with family. 過ごすイベントです So it's an event you spend together with your family. Some people may be wondering what the difference is between と一緒に and と共に And they're very, very similar. But と一緒に puts a little bit more emphasis on the action, whereas とともに puts more emphasis on the person you're doing it with. It's more I don't know, it's more emphasizing the person you're doing it with, making it slightly more dramatic and poetic almost. I don't know. と一緒に seems a little bit more conversational, but that doesn't mean that とともに is not used in conversation or that this one's more formal or anything. It's just slightly different. You're emphasizing who you're doing it with as opposed to the action, whereas と一緒に is more emphasizing the action, apparently. So this one is emphasizing the fact that you spend the event with your family, right? That's where the emphasis is. So, タンパク質とともにビタミンを取ることがいいと聞きました. So I heard that getting protein and vitamins together is good. So タンパク質 is an N1 word that means protein. タンパク質とともに. So together with protein, ビタミンを取る. So taking vitamins or getting vitamins ことが. So that thing is いいと聞きました. It's good, I heard. ハロウィンはクリスマスとともに日本で人気のある外国の文化です。So Halloween, along with Christmas, is a popular foreign custom in Japan. So ハロウィンは So the topic is Halloween はクリスマスとともに So along with Christmas, right? So putting the topic sort of contrasting these two things together, right? And not contrasting them is it's putting them together. So you can have the topic be put together with the とともに part, right? So ハロウィンはクリスマスとともに So together with Christmas. 日本で So utilizing Japan or in Japan. 人気のある So popular 外国の文化です It's a popular foreign culture or custom in Japan. Okay. Whew. That one broke my brain for a second. Anyway, so ハロウィンはクリスマスとともに So the topic can be said to be the thing that is along with whatever is marked by とともに So ハロウィンはクリスマスとともに Christmas along with Halloween. 高級レストランではチーズはフルーツとともに出される So at classy restaurants, cheese is put out with fruits. So here we have again チーズはフルーツとともに So the fruits are together with the cheese, right? So the topic is the thing they're together with. 高級レストランでは So at fancy restaurants. And that は more than marking this as the topic, which it is doing, is emphasizing what's coming next, which is that cheese and fruits are put out together, I guess. チーズは That's the new topic of フルーツとともに together with fruits 出される。人口が減るとともに国の力は弱くなる So along with a decrease in populations, a country's power declines. So 人口 is population が減る So to decrease とともに So along with decreasing 人口が減るとともに So along with decreasing of populations 国の力 So the power of a country は That's a new topic 弱くなる They become weaker or their power declines. A couple more examples here. We have 仕事の技術は 経験とともに上達していく。Your skills at work, they increase along with experience. So 仕事の技術。So your skills at work. 仕事の技術は That's the topic. 経験とともに。So those, it's not just the topic, it's what's being marked as going along with 経験とともに。So 経験とともに。So along with experience, work skills. 上達していく。You get better at. They increase along with the other things. 年齢とともに体は老化します。So your body ages along with you. So I translated this a little bit weird just because translating it directly would sound even weirder. So 年齢とともに, so along with your years increasing. Like this makes sense in Japanese. It doesn't make sense when you put it directly into English. So as your years increase, 年齢とともに, along with that, 体は老化します. So 老化 is to age. It's your body getting older basically, right? So 体は老化します. But for me to translate this directly, it would be as you get older, your body ages. But that's sort of, maybe that would be fine, but it feels like it's redundant. But in Japanese, it's fine, right? Your body ages along with you because 老化 and 年齢 are different things, completely separate things. So I guess your body ages as you get older. That may make perfect sense. It just seemed weird to me when I was translating it. ポケモンは進化するとともに強くなります. So when Pokemon evolve, they become stronger at the same time. So ポケモンは so they're the topic. 進化する. 進化 is evolve. It's an N1 word. 進化するとともに. So while or at the same time as they evolve, 強くなります. They become stronger. 時代とともに文明はすごい速さで発達します。So as the times change, civilization develops at an amazing speed. 時代とともに. So along with changing times or the changing of ages. 文明は so civilization は that's the topic すごい速さで so at extreme or amazing speed 発達します it develops. Alright, conversation. Let's get Yuki over here. Read it one time slowly, then at full speed. ちなみに牛の小屋はどのぐらいある
4軒。
そうなんだ。よかったね。馬より少なくて。
まあ、でも牛の小屋は馬より2倍ぐらい大きいんだよ。
マジか。
まあ、こういう仕事は友達と共にできると悪くないね。
そうだね。Alright, full speed. Let's go ahead and keep Yuki on screen. It'll be better that way. はい。And I'll just turn this off.
はい。
ちなみに、牛の小屋はどのくらいある
?4 軒。
そうなんだ。よかったね。馬より少なくて。
まあ、でも、牛の小屋は馬のより2倍くらい大きいんだよ。
マジか。
まあ、こういう仕事は友達と共にできると悪くないね。
そうだね。はい。The end. Alright, let's go ahead and move on to the translation and we'll get me back on screen for this one. Okay. So, ちなみに、by the way, 牛の小屋はどのくらいある So, 牛の小屋 is just like a barn or like a 小屋 can also be like a lodge or a cabin or something like that. But in this case, since it's with an animal, we know it's like a barn or a stable. So, 牛の小屋は So, as for the cow 小屋どのくらいある So, about how many are there? 4軒 Remember, ken is a counter for buildings. So, 4軒 There's 4. そうなんだ。Is that so? よかったね。That's good. 馬より少なくて。It's less than the horses. まあ、well, yeah. でも、牛の小屋は馬のより2倍くらい大きいんだよ。But the cow barns are about 2 times bigger than the horses. マジか。No way. まあ、こういう仕事。So this kind of work. こういう仕事は That's the topic. 友達と共に So along with friends or together with a friend できると When you can do it with a friend と悪くないね It's not so bad, is it? そうだね Yeah. And that's how their day ended. Lots of cleaning out stables. Question time. どんなイベントを誰と共に楽しんでいますか? So what event are you enjoying with who? The who is the most important part with とともに, right? So 毎年 every year 夏休みに so during summer vacation は友達と共に so together with my friend ビーチに遊びに行きます I go to the beach with my friend so ご近所さんと共に so together with my neighbors ボランティア活動に so volunteer work に参加しました I participated in Okay? So how about you guys? Thumbs up を攻撃してください Please smash the thumbs up button and チャンネル登録お願いします We just hit 40,000 subscribers Thank you so much. If you're not subscribed yet, hitting that button helps a lot. And make sure you hit the bell as well so that you know when we go live next time. Yeah, super cool. Thank you so much.
ありがとうございました。
That's crazy. Crazy.
ねえ、もうみんなありがとう、ほんと。
Thank you.
すごいよ。
I'm gonna keep this up right here.
トキニアンディタウンになっちゃうよね。
ありがとうございました。また
はい
次のビデオで会いましょうね。
また来年だよ。
また来年。バイバイ。
バイバイ。
日本語喋れるようになりたいのか? Hold up. We already did this. We already talked about how you can use our Genki 1 and 2 and now Quartet course to improve your Japanese. じゃあ、これは何のため? We're moving. また引っ越す? No, we're transitioning from Patreon to ToKiniAndy.com. なんで? Look.
なるほど。新しいやつの方が綺麗だね。
Exactly. It's easier to access, it looks better, it's easier to add new content to old lessons. I'm super excited for it.
私も出てるよ。これからよろしくお願いします。
Come join us on ToKiniAndy.com today and kickstart your Japanese learning experience. You'll have bonus grammar sentence videos, textbook practice videos, listening and shadowing videos, vocabulary videos, tests, and you'll be able to track your progress through fully structured lesson plans. Hope to see you there.
よろしくね。